on an all-new Dr. Phil.
A volatile marriage.
She swung a crowbar at me.
That's crazy.
Excuse me, why was there a crowbar in a bedroom?
He lists 25 reasons
You said she's been demeaning of you in front of your daughter.
I yell and call names.
why he wants a divorce.
You're a sugar baby?
I was.
You agreed to this.
Not only did he agree, but he would text these men for me because he said, I know what men want to hear.
That never happened.
Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
Today's going to be a changing day in your life.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. Okay. I need your help. I need you to remain standing if you would file for divorce because your partner was physically violent towards you in front of your child, worked as a sugar baby, had an affair, and engaged in sexually deviant behavior for money. So you guys would file for divorce. Okay, now, sit down if you would withdraw the divorce if your partner then told you the reason for their behavior was linked to childhood abuse. It's a tough room. So you wouldn't care. All right, everybody take a seat. Just wanted to know. That's the situation Ryan says he was facing when he filed for divorce from his wife of 4.5 years, Danielle. Now, Ryan claims he didn't buy his wife's excuse and he insisted that she take a polygraph test. These are the results. But first, even though Danielle admits to being a sugar baby and cheating on Ryan, she says she never prostituted herself. She claims Ryan made that up, and other spiteful lies in an attempt to have their 2-year-old daughter taken from her. Take a look.
My wife Danielle has a lot of anger inside of her, and she seeks out conflict on pretty much a daily basis.
There's never a let up. I'm never not angry at you. I'll admit that my anger is sometimes off the chart. I can go from 0 to 100 in just a snap of a finger. Taking full custody and telling me I can only have her when you're working and I have no say in anything that she's going to do, I'm gonna flip out.
My marriage was going backwards because Danielle felt like she wasn't happy, and then she started to threaten to split up the family.
I'm not sexually attracted to Ryan anymore. When Ryan is at his worst, he acts like an 8-year-old.
To buy myself more time to save our marriage, I did allow her to go on sugar daddy websites.
Do you ever think I would have ever thought that I needed to do something drastic to save money if you hadn't, like, not paid federal taxes? We owed $20,000 to the IRS. I only wanted to sign up to be a sugar baby to put us back in a better financial situation.
We were in Jamaica for our 4th year wedding anniversary. We spent about $5,000 that she had made working as the sugar baby.
Ryan found out that I had a one-night affair. He told me that he went through my phone and saw the text messages. He said that that was a deal breaker and that he was going to file for divorce.
She completely lost it, climbed out on the balcony and threatened to jump off if I didn't change my mind about the divorce.
The divorce papers listed that I had a one-night affair, which I don't deny, but one of Ryan's allegations is that I slapped our daughter. Ryan claims that I'm a prostitute, and that's absolutely not true.
Danielle does resent me for what I put in the divorce decree about our child, and we fight constantly about it.
This speaks volumes about Ryan. I've lost any kind of spark that was between me and Ryan just because of all the damage that's been done over the past few months.
Okay, now I'm wrapping my head around this. Ryan, you say that Danielle is physically and verbally abusive, and you both say that the marriage is going backwards.
Absolutely.
And you say that you're not really in love with him.
Right now, I feel like I'm not in love with him anymore.
So what's still giving you guys hope? Why are you here? Do you want to stay married? Do you not want to stay married?
I feel like I'm like 50-50. Like 50% of me wants to fix this and make it right between us, and the other part is like I'm so stepped out after all the crap and all the damage that's gone on over the past 6 months or so that I'm just like done.
And I'm 100% committed. I feel like there's still a lot of love there, and I feel like it can absolutely be saved, and we just need help to get there.
Okay, you're a sugar baby?
Not anymore, but I was.
Okay, but look, you guys are going to have to help me. I'm just an old country boy from Texas, and I've been married 42 years, okay? And we've been together 46, which means I haven't been on a date in 47 years. I know. With anybody other than Robin. But you're going to have to help me. How do you bring up the conversation about being a sugar baby in your marriage? Because I just can't imagine sitting around the breakfast table and Robin saying, could you pass the coffee? And by the way, I'm gonna register as a sugar baby and go start going out with some other guys. Okay with you? I just can't imagine how you bring that up in conversation.
Well, it wasn't just like, yeah, out of nowhere like that. So Ryan constantly puts us in financial troubles, and
you can't get in that much financial trouble at my house that you're going to go out and be a sugar baby.
Well, that was like when I figured, like, oh my gosh, this is the 4th time he's doing it. Like, we're just in debt over and over again.
I would eat the wallpaper before I would send my wife out on the street to date some other guys for money. I'm sorry, I don't. Well, how the hell is that okay with you?
But he agreed to it.
You agreed to this.
Yes, and not only did he agree, but he actively participated. He would text these men for me because he said, I know what men want to hear. He's lying because he said it in front of my dad. He said it to my dad.
That never happened a single time.
My dad was living with us.
Oh, so your dad knew about this too?
Yes. And he would he was on my phone. Ryan was on my phone. My dad did a double take, like, why is Ryan on Danielle's phone? And Ryan said, oh, I'm texting these guys for Danielle because I know what men want to hear.
That absolutely never happened a single time.
Yes, he would be at work.
Hold on, so let's back up for a second. The way this all came about was after we had our daughter, she had some postpartum depression.
No, this is real talk. This is real.
And then her parents got divorced on their 30th anniversary, and she started for months and months putting out, okay, I'm not happy here. I want to split up. I want to break apart our family. I'm not happy with you. I want to go out on the weekends. You can have her on the weekends while you're off work. And I was doing anything that I could to try to recoup, kind of revive our marriage. And she brought this up, and she told me, she gave me the ultimatum that if you don't come along with this and let me do this, then that's it. We're going to divorce. We're splitting up. So I was kind of trying to bide some time to try to fix things.
You maintain that you're a sugar baby. You just don't provide the sugar? What?
Oh, yeah, like going out on dates.
It's almost kind of like one of those Nigerian scams. She thought of it as like a business thing.
No,
like,
this is not a Nigerian scam.
Well, I'm saying you would just scam them out of their money.
Well, and like Ryan would
That
be
was
at
her
work,
thought.
and he would find naked pictures and like lingerie pictures of like girls on the internet, and he'd text it to me and say, "Here, I found some pictures for you to send to these guys."
Well, because you were first sending yourself to them, and I said, "Don't
Wait a
do
minute,
that."
I thought you said you weren't helping her send messages to the sugar daddies.
No, I didn't help. She would send nudes of herself out, and I said, there's no way, like, absolutely not.
Oh, you draw the line at that.
Well, I'm saying this is...
She can go, but don't send pictures ahead of time.
No, I'm saying A is better than B. I didn't want anything to do with this. I tried to make the best of a terrible situation.
Thank you. I mean, this is common sense.
Because I was so
and you
worried
can't
about
understand
money.
why you're having problems here?
But there were problems before then, like the money, everything. We were always in debt. He was always putting us in debt, and I was just scared.
Ryan says while his wife Danielle was meeting her sugar baby clients, he was left at home holding their baby, and suspects things with one client went a lot further. A lot further than what? We'll talk more about this when we come back, and I got some questions.
Ryan most definitely benefited from the money as well. We paid off his car, his student loans, a trip to Jamaica, lots of nice dinners, and I got a boob job.
And later, you didn't believe Danielle when she told you about her childhood trauma.
She'd never mentioned anything about this.
Then he demands a polygraph test. This is just crazy.
Danielle has been physically abusive to me.
Ryan claims that I hit him in front of our daughter. That's ridiculous, telling somebody they're violent and hitting you when they haven't been violent and hit you at all.
Yes, you
That's
have.
ridiculous. I was physically violent with Ryan one time. After I slapped Ryan, he threw me down onto the floor, pushing his knees so hard into my back, I thought my implants were going to explode.
One situation was we keep a kind of like a crowbar tire iron underneath the bed here, and she was so angry she swung it at me, and I did kind of block it with my arm.
Ryan tends to blow things out of proportion, put his hands up almost as if he's under arrest. I'm laughing because it's like ridiculous. Totally not true. Never hit him with a crowbar.
You absolutely did.
That's attempted murder. I've never done that. That's crazy.
Excuse me, why was there a crowbar in the bedroom?
We don't have any guns or anything in the house,
No.
so it was in case of intruders.
No, long story
That's
short,
what
we
it's there
nearly
for.
almost had an intruder. And then I was like, oh my gosh, we don't have anything. Like, what happens if somebody did break in this house?
Yeah,
and then
it's
he
just
put the
for
crowbar
protection.
underneath
What do
the
you mean
bed.
you nearly almost had an intruder?
Somebody texted on my phone and said, what are you doing? It's so late out. The lights are on in your bedroom. We're like, what?
Well, and when the
We
person...
thought somebody was outside our house.
And
Well, I
somebody
can't
walked-
imagine why you would be concerned.
No, this was long before this whole
Well, and
crap
somebody
with
tried
us.
to break
Well,
in.
Ryan says he served these divorce papers to his wife, Danielle, in June. In them, he listed 25 reasons why the marriage has failed, which included, among other things, his wife working as a sugar baby. But Danielle says Ryan was always on board, benefited from the proceeds, meaning that she got money, brought it home, he benefited from that. He used the money, and that he even messaged her clients because he, quote, knew what men wanted to hear. Take a look.
When I told Ryan about my idea to be a sugar baby, he was fully on board. I knew it would be fast and easy money.
I was forced into it.
Yeah, no, you were not forced into it. Nobody held a gun to your head. Ryan is a hypocrite. Ryan was absolutely actively involved. He would take my phone and he would text these men for me because he said, I know what guys want to hear.
That's absolutely a delusion. I've never done anything like that.
You aren't along for the ride, going along with everything, enjoying all the money, spending it on yourself. Ryan most definitely benefited from the money as well. We paid off his car, his student loans, a trip to Jamaica, lots of nice dinners, and I got a boob job.
Danielle got turned on and excited from having the money.
I would make between $100 and $500 for a date with one of these men. All in all, I made $40,000 to $50,000. This restaurant right here, I've met some people here that I met off of a website, and you try to trick them, make them think, oh, I like you. You don't. You get your money and go.
Danielle's agreement to a compromise was that she would not meet anybody new on the website.
I only wanted to sign up to be a sugar baby to put us back in a better financial situation. I don't care what I do to make a living.
Okay, you made how much money?
Probably between $40,000 and $50,000.
At $300 to $500 a time?
Yes, but there was other times where one time somebody gave me $14,000.
$14,000.
Yeah.
And she went out of town twice.
Is
Different
this the
people.
person you went to Arizona with twice?
That gave me the 14 grand, yeah.
Yeah. And you don't have sex with him?
No.
You're a hell of a dinner companion. Ryan says there were 25 reasons he wanted a divorce. So the statements in red, Danielle denies. Okay, so he said, committed marital misconduct, engages in sexually deviant behavior. What is the sexually deviant behavior?
Well, it's not that far of a jump to go from she's going out on these dates or whatever, dinner dates, and then all of a sudden she's got $4 grand that she's coming home with. So as far as hardcore proof if something happened, those lines aren't that far apart.
Okay.
participates in sexual activity for money. You say you have no proof of that. Accepts money from men that she's met online. Leaves the child to meet up with men that were found online. Threatens Ryan with police if he refuses to allow her to participate in sexual contact with other men.
Not true. What are you going to call the police? My husband won't let me go out with another guy.
Yeah, that was our big fight where it was in February where I was like, it's got to stop. Like, this has absolutely never been okay. It's got to stop, and I'm done with this. And you fought me and got physical with me, and then you said that if I didn't agree to let you keep going along with it, that you call the police. You did call the police.
I called the police because he was like kneeling down on me.
No, you called.
And I just had my boobs done, so I thought my incisions were going to open.
What would you consider outside the boundaries of a marriage? What would you say? That's too far.
Well,
what would you say?
I already
That's
did
just
do
too far.
something too far. I did have an affair.
It's all out of line, every bit of it.
Okay, well, so is going along with it then, I guess, and texting men for me.
That's
then.
your word. That is not at all what happened.
Okay, well, somebody's not telling me the truth. You say that he's texting men for you because he knows what they want to hear. You're saying that's not true. Somebody's not telling me the truth. There are not versions of the truth. You either did that or you didn't.
He absolutely did. And he said it to my dad. You said, I'm texting these guys for her because I know what guys want to hear.
That's a made-up story.
Does it make sense to y'all that this is not what a marriage is based on? Does it seem reasonable to you, money or otherwise, that you're out seeing other men for money? Does it seem to you that that's a reasonable solution to financial challenges within a marriage?
Since I don't have a college education, yeah.
Not a single bit. Not any part of it is, ever was.
Does it bother you that that would be okay with your husband?
No.
That doesn't bother you that
That he's okay. That if he's okay with it,
Yeah.
that doesn't bother me.
That doesn't bother you?
No, because it's not a real relationship. It's just faking it to like make some money.
Wow. Okay, Ryan says when Danielle told him she had been abused as a child, he did not believe her and insisted she take a polygraph exam. But Danielle says the thing that was truly tested by his demand was her love for Ryan. We're going to find out just how much and what she means by that after the break.
Hey, I'm on the Dr. Phil show stage right now. Do you remember when I was doing the sugar baby stuff and Ryan would get on my phone and text the guys for me because he told you, quote, I know what guys want to hear?
And later, why did you marry him?
It was just like fun.
If we're fighting, if you would ask her the same question, I started dating him because he makes money and I have sex with him so I can spend his money and he won't get mad at me.
If I was going to marry somebody for
You
money,
just said that last week.
It wouldn't be a pharmacist. Hey, I'm on the Dr. Phil show stage right now. Okay, I just have one question. Do you remember when I was doing the sugar baby stuff when I was online? And I was like doing whatever, and Ryan would get on my phone and text the guys for me because he told you, quote, I know what guys want to hear.
Yeah, and I said, I don't think it's a good idea.
Thank you. Here's Dr. Phil.
You're a very good sport, and thank you. We didn't mean to ambush you in that way, but it really helps to clear up because she was telling exactly what you just said, and to have that verified is really very helpful in helping these guys work this out.
Yeah, like I said, it's going to be up to them to work things out. Nobody can solve anybody's problems but themselves. They got to be responsible for their own actions.
Well, sometimes having some guidance does help. You're very kind to take the time to help us out. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh my God. I'm sorry.
He seems like a very reasonable guy. So who's telling the truth here? Her dad says it happened exactly the way she said it happened, and he wasn't listening to what we were saying before he verified exactly what she was saying.
I know they've talked about it before the show, before we came on, but that absolutely never happened. I only have motivation to tell the truth here because I wrote into the show and I want all the help that we can get, but I can't lie. I would be lying if I told you what happened, and I don't want to lie.
Yeah, you say that you didn't believe Danielle when she told you about her childhood trauma.
So, yeah, it was kind of in like the 11th hour of the divorce. Like everything was filed, we were going through it, and 7 years into knowing her, she'd never mentioned anything about this. And I had a major life decision to make at the moment, and I completely regret having her do what I had her do, and I apologize.
No, he doesn't. If you regretted that, you wouldn't have forced me to do
apologized
this.
over and over for having you do it. I just didn't know what else to do. At that point, I couldn't believe you.
That's just like everything I was working on to work through that, all the progress I made, it like brought me back to square one.
Basically, the polygraph asked whether or not she was abused as a child, sexually and physically, and the results, she said yes, and the results are that that was not deceptive, that she in fact was telling the truth, and apparently it was not a close call. So she was telling the truth.
So it's like I just resent him for this, like me finally opening up and telling him this, and then he demands a polygraph test. It's like, this is just crazy.
And I'm certainly not going to be specific about it here because that is your business, and so I'm not going to ask you about it here. I'm not going to talk about it here. But you told him that. He didn't believe you. You verified that that was true, just like you verified what happened concerning contacting the sugar babies and him helping you. You verified that with your father when your bluff was called on that. Ryan says when he filed a divorce, he wanted full custody of their 2-year-old daughter because Danielle was not mentally stable enough to be a good mother, something Danielle says she cannot forgive. So there's a lot of resentment being built up here because of challenges that are being made to things that she says are just simply not true. Resentment being built up here because he says she's doing things that are offensive to his sensibilities as a man and a husband and a father. So this just seems like a powder keg, and they're giving off sparks. So what do we do after the break? You said that there's been emotional violence, name-calling, yelling.
All the time.
Do you have any respect for him?
Not after the lies in regards to our daughter.
Closed captioning provided by...
Ryan says that I like to live the high life. I spend spare money on Botox, fillers, plastic surgery because a woman should feel great about herself. I've had my breasts done 2 times, and I would definitely have more plastic surgery.
Danielle vicariously lives through the Kardashians. Danielle wants the Hollywood millionaire lifestyle, but always makes sure to remind me that we only have a very average life.
Who doesn't like nice things? But I'm realistic, and I know that's not reality. I never, ever go and do things that I know that we cannot afford.
Well, Ryan and Danielle have been married for nearly 5 years, and they both agree that their marriage, well, they agree it's just a mess. Danielle admits to cheating on Ryan, but says Ryan's false accusations made in the divorce papers attempting to paint her as an unfit mother just went too far. Now, what is it he said about you being unfit that crossed the line for you? What did he say?
He lied and said that I hit her.
That you hit your child. Did you? Would you?
He says when she comes running to me, when she wants me to like hold her if she's upset or whatever, that I push her away.
You have done that on multiple occasions whenever you're frustrated with her crying.
No, I never, ever have ever hit her.
You have forcibly pushed her.
No.
And the hitting her was just a slap on the leg during a diaper change to get her to hold still. So that wasn't a big deal. But you
No.
have forcibly pushed her because
Well,
you're
number
frustrated.
18, you said slapped and forcefully pushed the daughter.
Yeah.
So has she slapped your daughter?
Only on the leg a little bit during a diaper
Well, that's
change.
not what you said that she slapped your daughter.
Right, that's incorrect.
Was that overstated?
Overstated, absolutely.
Why did you say that?
Because for 7 years, I have always made sure to put Danielle first and her needs before mine. And after everything that had happened in the affair and everything, then I was like, I'm going to put myself first for once.
So you misrepresented in this list.
It was overstated there, yes.
Okay. And you said that she's been physically violent in front of the child.
3 times.
Physically violent with you?
Yes.
And you said that there's been emotional violence, name-calling, yelling?
All the time. Weekly would probably be not an exaggeration at all.
And demeaning of you in front of the child?
100%.
How does she demean you?
She'll call me all kinds of names. You couldn't even pronounce them here, or couldn't even say them on TV. She'll, diminish me as a man. She'll threaten me with other men. Really anything that she thinks is going to hurt me. Anytime somebody does anything to Danielle, she's going to hurt you 10 times more coming back. So anything that's perceived on her end as a slight towards her, she's going to fire back with anything she has.
Is that true? Do you go nuclear?
Yeah, I yell and call names.
Why?
I feel like I could explode, and it just makes me yell. It's so built up frustration, just like to yell and scream at him. It's like it gets a weight off my chest.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any respect for him?
Not after the lies in regards to our daughter.
That had been going on for years, though. That had nothing to do with after that. All this had been going on for years.
Why did you marry him?
Because he's really, really nice. And it was just like fun. Like every day I'd just be like, oh, I can't wait to get off work and go see Ryan.
See, she explains it this way now, but for example, in a fight, if we're fighting, if you would ask her the same question, then she would answer it back with, I started dating him because he makes money and I have sex with him so I can spend his money and he won't get mad at me.
No, if I was going to if I was going to marry somebody for money,
just said that last week.
It wouldn't be a pharmacist.
But you did marry him.
Right, meaning I didn't marry him for
Right.
money. I married him because I loved him.
Do you still?
I don't know. I feel like after these lies with my daughter, it's like you could do something to me, that's fine. If you hurt me, like we can work through that. But if you do something to like hurt her, that's gonna hurt her then.
But your grasp on morals are so far off that you look back at that list of everything that you've done nightly, going out with these guys, going out of town when I'm begging you not to go out of town, having an affair. Some of these guys knew our address where our daughter lived, like all these things, but then you see that you had no part, you didn't involve our daughter at all, even though you basically did everything.
No, but my intention was to put money away so we could put our daughter through college.
If you were trying to get me to divorce you, you couldn't have done a better job than what you did. I never tried to reduce your role with our daughter.
Did you benefit from the money that she made Sugar Baby in?
All of our money, we use as all of our money.
Yep, and not only that, but when he filed for divorce, he cut the bank account in half. The bank account that I put the Sugar Baby money in, he took half of it.
I feel like she'd been using me for my money for all the years, so right back at you.
So what's this picture?
That's us in Jamaica.
Yeah.
I paid for that trip from the Sugar Baby crap.
Well, Ryan says he bought a copy of my #1 New York Times best-selling book, Relationship Rescue. Obviously, it did the trick. They did some of the exercises, and we'll take a look at what their answers reveal to me next. Closed captioning provided by...
During Danielle's time doing the Sugar Baby websites, I bought the Dr. Phil Relationship Rescue book as another effort to try to bring us back on the right path.
When we went through the book together, it felt like a bonding moment between the two of us. The book helped, and it did feel like our relationship was stronger.
I feel like a fool now because I was very committed to the book, and while we were going through it, she decided to go out of town with the second client.
One of the questions in the book asks, do you feel out of shape or overweight? And I'm thinking, hell no, I am like gorgeous. I had a baby, I dropped 50 pounds, so like, I'm looking great.
Well, Ryan says before serving divorce papers to his once Sugar Baby wife, Danielle, he bought a copy of my #1 New York Times best-selling book, Relationship Rescue. He says the book brought them closer together and ultimately closer to meeting me. But what do their responses to the book exercises tell me about them? Well, first off, I want to take a look at Danielle's answers to defining the problem. Sometimes I want to divorce, then what makes me angry is not getting my way. I wish sometimes I hadn't gotten married. When I get angry, I yell and ignore Ryan's feelings. Sometimes wish I was alone. My best quality is almost everything. My partner hates it when I don't take his thoughts seriously. My partner's greatest fear is losing this family. What hurts me when my partner thinks I cheated on him. I feel the most lonely when Ryan and I are fighting. I am afraid I shouldn't have gotten married. What surprises me is how much he has changed. I believe I might be better off single. I regret sometimes getting married. If you knew then what you know now, would you have married him?
No.
Is that a thoughtful response or a reactive response?
I think it's a thoughtful response.
Really, because if you hadn't married him, you wouldn't have your daughter.
She's awesome.
So not marrying him would erase her from the world, and you still wouldn't marry him.
Oh, well, no, if it meant to keep my daughter, then yeah, I'll marry him.
Well, Ryan's journal excerpt, The Formula for Success, he said, I need to know that I am an important part of your life. When I hear things about how I failed to live up to your expectations, it lowers the spot that I see myself in your opinion. I need to feel that you are proud that I am your husband. I like when you tell me that you appreciate what I've done to get my degree and provide for the family instead of saying that I don't make enough money. I don't appreciate being belittled or humiliated in front of other people. I feel humiliated when I'm insulted in front of others. I need to know that you're loyal and committed, and I need to know that you're not self-sabotaging the relationship. Are you surprised at anything he's writing here?
No.
Why is this so hard for you to do? Look him in the eye.
Because it's just like one thing after another.
Okay, you two stand up and face each other.
Be careful.
And just look each other in the eye for a minute. And don't say anything, just step a little closer. Don't say a word, just look each other in the eye. Don't look away. Why is this so hard for you to do? Look him in the eye.
Because it's just like one thing after another.
Okay, both of you put your hands behind your back and keep looking at each other. Okay, I'm going to ask you behind your back with your fingers to rate your relationship between 1 and 10. 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. I want you to make your selection. In a minute, I'm going to say show it, but right now I just want you to make your choice. 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. I'm going to count to 3. When I get to 3, I want you to both show it at the same time. 1, 2, 3. Okay, you're 5 and you're 2. Ryan, I want you to tell her 5 reasons this relationship is not a 10.
Because I feel like you make selfish decisions and go out and do things on your own. I feel like you have been hurt in your life, and I feel like sometimes it seems like your mission is to hurt everybody else worse than you've been hurt.
Okay, 3.
I feel like you push me away because you're afraid of being vulnerable.
Okay, 4.
And I feel like you don't have morals or values that can survive and relish and grow in a relationship.
5. 5th reason your relationship is not a 10.
Because I feel like you don't have any emotional control.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now look him in the eye, Danielle. You rated the relationship a 2, so give him 8 reasons it's not a 10.
You filed for divorce. You made up lies about our daughter. You tried to have us not have her 50-50 and take away like major choices that I should have say in for her. You never like genuinely compliment me like you used to. There's no sex.
3 more.
Oh, you always put your parents ahead of me. Always. Always. And lately you've been lying to me.
One more reason it's not a 10.
Neither of us puts each other first anymore.
Okay. All right, you guys sit down. Ryan wrote to me twice and said, we need somebody to step in and help. Well, I've stepped in and said this is so non-commonsensical that it has no chance if something doesn't dramatically change. I'm going to tell them what I mean by that, because they got into relationship rescue, but they never finished it. And there's an arc in that book, and they got part of the way. We'll be right back. Closed captioning provided by... Look, I don't care if you're living in a box under a bridge. You should not denigrate yourself as a woman, as a wife, as a mother by out sugar babying with men paying you money. You are better than that. That is beneath you. You're better than that. It is beneath you, and you shouldn't do that. Now, I understand what happened to you growing up, and I understand that it is not unusual for a victim of what you went through to define themselves physically. And you don't understand the dynamics of this, but I can tell you that it puts you in a tunnel vision where you don't understand all the dynamics of what's going on. You were a victim. And you were a victim at so many levels, you don't even realize what you were a victim at. You were a victim in being violated, and you were a victim in not being protected. And no one has ever stopped and helped you to heal those wounds. And you need to let me bring you the resources to help you heal those wounds, to help you be a fully functioning woman that appreciates everything about you and not just what someone did to you. You deserve that, and I insist that you allow me to do that. And this situation needs a hero, and it ought to be you. It's time for you to step up, man up, and lead this situation. You don't go write a 25-item petition and try to figure out a way to take sole, full custody of this child away from this mother. What you need to do is make unification your middle name. You need to figure a way to put this family back together, and don't you dare do anything to try and take that child away from her mother. You need to put this back together. You need to earn her respect. She needs to earn your trust, and that's a matter of work. And I will get you the resources that you need to do this. You'll take this help, correct?
Yeah.
And I will get it, and I will get it now. And it's going to be very specialized help for you, because you have very specialized needs. And you deserve this help. Fair enough? Fair enough?
Absolutely.
No decisions for 90 days. All right? Okay? Okay? Take this help. You guys are going to turn this around.
Okay.
All right. I want to thank all of my guests today. We'll see you next time.